Hello and welcome back to ATSFE. Today I have a Battlefield Walkaround, and it's a little bit something different, and it's interesting because Critical Hit has now started doing more series. The one we're going to do today is the Bocage Tactics. What's interesting is that they have the Volga series, they have the Make the Rebel Bounce series, which it's interesting. There are actually 13 modules for this one. And you are required to, you have to buy this one, and then you have to buy 2 and then 3 and all the way through 13 or 16. Oh, sorry, 16. There's 16 all the way through 16, not 13. There were 16. Now, like I said, you do have to. What this depicts is the terrain and the fighting in the Normandy region, and all the different things like that. Now, each expansion, the Hedro Tactics, the base module, which is this one right here, runs for $60, $59.95 if I remember right. And all the expansions are either $30 or $40. There's only 2 $40 modules, and the rest are $30 modules. And typically what you get in each of the expansions is 1 to 3 boards, 6 scenarios, and some of them are themed, such as fighting the Waffen SS, St. Lo, Epson, and the 82nd Airborne. They have these thematics with it. And like I said, there's 16 modules altogether. I have 2 here, and I want to show you what they come with. Now, one thing that I definitely want to stress is that these are the bring your own counters. Now, you'll see some counter sheets in here, but not even worth it. There's not anything in here to really play the scenarios with, and I wanted to make sure that's clear. Now, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and look at the base module first, and then we'll get into one of the expansions to show you what you get. Now, the base module here comes with 6 maps, 6 scenarios, plus the cards, the AFV cards that you will need for the scenarios. Okay. And like I said, 6 scenarios, and we'll go through that. And like I said, they do come with like I swear they just throw this in, but these are the over-the-head counters, which I by no means am a fan of. But these came with it, but they can go away. Now, let's take a look at the boards that you get. Like I said, you do get 6 boards, and there are 6 scenarios. Now, let's take a look at the boards, and I'm going to go these in order. You have HR1, HR2, plenty of bocage. In HR1, you have nice little like stream there. Plenty of bocage, and again, looks like you got a church right in here, so there's like a little village here. HR3, farms. That's about it. Some farming area. Have a hill here with some crops on top of the hill. This one you have a bridge going over with farm. And just kind of, I would say this is just a normal scenario, normal module map. So you get the 6 module maps, and you get 6 scenarios. Now, let's take a look at the scenarios a little bit more into detail. All right, I've got it zoomed in so we can take a look at the scenarios a little bit more. And one thing you want to take a look at is the maps here. These are geomorphic maps, which means they can be moved around and flipped around, and anything that you need. So you have the geomorphic maps, and they usually all match up with the roads. As you can tell, the one up here matches the one down here. It just makes it easier. They're somewhat fictitious, somewhat historical with that. Now, we have, so in this case, the map layout, you need HR2, HR5, HR1, and HR3. This is a 10-turn scenario. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, again, has the four formats. We have scenario 3, a little bit different. It's this way. This uses, oh, so 1 and 2 are Americans and Germans. 3 is the Durham Light Infantry, so the Brits or Commonwealth, and the Germans, and again the Germans and the Commonwealth for number 4. And this one has a different looking geomorphic setup, as does this one. Only uses 2 maps, Hunter and Hunted. Again, the British, and season 6 or scenario 6 is Americans and Germans. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you use all of these in there, all the modules, and then you have your cards, your AFV cards for the hedgerows. Sherman 5, some Churchills, some, of course, you have your Panzers. Sherman 5C, Sherman 5 again, or yeah, you have a Crocodile, and then your Panzer 4 F2s. So plenty of Panzers here. Panzer 4s and a few 5s. Oh, Panzer 6 as well, right there. Okay, that is the scenarios. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at, usually I'd say, okay, that's the module. But what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take a look at the second expansion. All right, here we go. So we have Hedgerows 2 here. So let's take a look. Another hedgerow board and 6 scenarios. So we open it up. By the way, it came with, which I'm okay with. It came with the US AFVs and weapons. Oh, so we got some pretty nice stuff here. This was cool. I was glad they sent this. Not that, you need them, as any ATS owner would know, is you need more. The more the better that you have, the more counters, the better. And we have our 6 scenarios, and that's it. Let's take a look at the map board first. So this is HR7. We have a pretty big woods in here, and then a few rubbled areas. You can tell this was bombarded because it's got the shell holes around. Thinking offboard artillery, but offshore artillery from the good idea, possibly from the boats during the landing. Okay, so that's the map. Now let's take a look at those. Okay, we're starting at number 7. Now this is where you are required to have previous modules. If you look at the maps here, it's HR7 and HR2. You need the base module. That will continue on throughout the series, all the other 16 or 14 expansions that's left. You'll need previous maps. You'll need previous, basically previous counters. Now, this is missed drop, so we have the 501st Parachute Infantry, which is kind of cool, and the 91th Luftwaffe. So again, Germans versus Americans. Germans versus Americans again. This one just uses HR7, so it just uses the map that it comes with. This is almost the same setup as the previous one for 9. This one uses 7 and 4. And again, we have Americans and Germans, Americans and Germans. And we have the 4th Infantry. We have 3 and 7. Some smaller scenarios, which is kind of nice. That first module had quite a few larger scenarios. I like the 2 board scenarios. They're perfect size for what I'm looking for, which is pretty cool. So this one uses 7 and 5, and we have the Brits and the Americans on this one. And I believe we did, yep, another 2. I really do like the two map scenarios. I think they're the perfect size. We can get them can get them, you can play them, you can knock them out pretty easily with that. All right, that is the scenarios. And I hope you have enjoyed this Battlefield Walkaround of the Hedgerow Bocage Tactics, the series. I like I said, I have the base module and expansion number 2. All the rest of the expansions basically add either, like I said, 1 to 3 maps and at least 6 scenarios. From what I saw, it was all 6 scenarios. Oh, and don't worry about bonus scenarios. There are actually 6 scenarios. Bonus is a little not thrilled with use it. It should be just say and 6 scenarios. Anyways, getting back to it, for the price, not too bad. You do get, 6 scenarios, you get the boards. Generally speaking, you have the correct amount of counters. If you have anything else, this is not a module or a series I would start with, because you do have to have a lot of this counters ahead of time. And there are many other modules I'd recommend going for that. But other than that, a lot of good content in there, a lot of good different choices in there, a lot of things you can do. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. And again, thank you for watching this, and thank you for enjoying the ATSFE content. And I want to thank you for watching this from myself, Tony, and my co-sponsors, co-people, Mitch Land and Evan York. With that, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.